Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. I hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your Saturday or wrapping up your Saturday, however you are enjoying this day. Hopefully you're just making it a positive one, making it an amazing one out here in the streets. Okay, we got some information. We got some updates here. I missed you guys yesterday, but I did do a very late, kind of early, very early morning show, a little past midnight, on Friday. So I figured, hey, that was good enough for me for the day. Needed some time to get some rest and recuperation because I've been working very hard out here in these streets to give you guys the information and the conversations that you need for the day. And I got some really cool announcements. This is the reason why I'm doing this as a live, because I got some cool announcements that I want to give you guys a heads up to for what's going to be coming up in the next 48 hours, which is really, really dope. And I can't wait for that. All right. But really quick, Tyler said, thank you so much for the two, but it's his mom's birthday today. So happiest of birthdays to Mrs. Hackner out there. Happy birthday to Tyler's mama. All right. Happiest of birthdays. Hopefully it's filled with a lot of smiles, a lot of sweet goodness, like hugs and kisses from your son, Tyler, and lots of cake, okay? And hopefully it's a very relaxing one for you today, too, okay? Hopefully Tyler's the one cooking. I'm sorry, Tyler, I had to do it to you, okay? He's like, me cook? What are you talking about? But hopefully it's a good one for you, Mrs. Hackner. Happiest of birthdays. And also, everybody in the chat, give Mrs. Hackner, Tyler's mother, a whole bunch of purple heart emojis and some happy birthdays in the chat. That'd be greatly appreciated, okay? Gaynor Rands, also, welcome to the family right off the bat. Thank you so much for your support. And just like Gaynor Rands, you could do the same thing by supporting this channel. Hit that join button down below. All right, become a family member. Be greatly appreciated. I got some fun gifts for you guys very, very soon. Some updates in the memberships, which I'm really excited about, and I cannot wait to share those with you guys this weekend. Anyway, guys, and thank you guys for putting in all the happiest of birthdays and all that, because Tyler's mama deserves it. She made and raised a very great kid. That's all I got to say about that. Happiest of birthdays. Anyway, before we get into everything, okay? Oh, shoot. It's Nur's birthday as well. Everybody, happiest of birthdays to Nur, okay? To Aggro Vixen, one of our mods. Happiest of birthdays to you too, sweetheart. Without you holding it down in these chats and just being an amazing individual, the chat would be absolute chaos, okay? Without your help, obviously. I know that we have other amazing mods on this show, but again, Nur, thank you so very much. And happiest of birthdays to her too. Give her some happy birthdays and purple heart emojis in the chat as well, okay? All right, guys. Now, outside of that, because we got to get things moving here, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in, because we got some things to talk about. All right. Some interesting updates, which is kind of crappy, gonna be honest. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out this channel. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the conversation and the information that you need for the day. And it is Saturday, so I want to make this one short and sweet because I want to go and enjoy my time with my family as well. Okay, so let's get into some things, okay? We got a lot to talk about. Well, it's not a lot, but it's something big that I think is incredibly important because we are dealing with some very interesting issues right now. Now, I did talk about this on my late show Thursday night, early, really, really early Friday morning, technically. Okay. And what's very interesting about this is what sucks. This is what sucks when you get news from various sources, news from various periodicals that you say that you could sit there and go, okay, I can trust, or, maybe you don't trust, so on and so forth. But what's very frustrating about this whole thing is when you report something, and of course I asked out loud, is this true? Is this real? Is this fake news? Or is this the truth? And what burns my cookies, okay, is when you have sources, reporters that are out here saying things that apparently are not true. So we got to go into this a little bit, okay? We got to do a little trip down memory lane because this is very important, okay? And allegedly, these things aren't true. Allegedly. So right here, we talked about this the other day, okay? We talked about this very conversation the other day. The title, Idaho suspect BK visited restaurant where two victims worked at least twice before this tragedy went down. Apparently, there's another article that was made as well about, I guess, him being connected to them on IG and whatnot as well. So this particular reporter, which I will not name, obviously you see the name right there, okay? I'm wondering if this is entirely true. Now, I said this in the show before, okay? But I'm always about trying to be as transparent with you guys as I possibly can when it comes to these stories, when it comes to covering these things. And this is the reason why I'm talking about it right now. I woke up this morning finding out that and seeing a statement from the owner of the Mad Greek, which we will be looking at here shortly, basically going against what's being said in this article. So we are going to go and take a trip down memory lane in this article that we talked about before. And then we're going to listen and we're going to hear or see, we're going to read what the owner of the Mad Greek had to say about these claims. But again, it's frustrating because I'm not sitting here saying that People Magazine is trash. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying all these places, Daily Mail, Newsweek, Washington Post, New York Times, any of these periodicals, all of them, okay? We all have a responsibility to try to be as transparent and as truthful as possible, not just putting up stuff so you guys get a click or two. Now we're hearing something completely different, and I'm wondering, is it all? Are they lying now too? Like, that would be strange and would not make any sense for the owner of the Mad Greek to lie, to go against what this reporter wrote. Okay, so and I did this and I broke it down in the previous show, but we're gonna break it down again because I was very inquisitive. I had many questions. I said, is this true or no? Because something about it doesn't feel right because of the things that are being said in this actual article. I'm going to go through with you guys one more time. Okay. So in the weeks before the slangs, in last November, of course, we already know this. A man is now accused of unaliving them, allegedly ate at the restaurant where two of the victims worked. Okay. So here's the part. According to a former employee at the Greek restaurant in Moscow, Idaho, Bryan Kohberger, came in at least twice to grab vegan pizza. Two of the victims, we already know, Madison and Xana, were servers at that restaurant. Now, the thing is when they say, according to a former employee, and I even said it on the other show too, but I keep wondering, who is this former employee? Who is this former employee? Why didn't they step out and speak out about this? Because you also got to remember, former employee, how long ago were they an employee at this restaurant? Former employee could mean anything. They could have been somebody who worked there in the very beginning of it all, when it all went down and all that stuff, starting the restaurant and all that, and now they don't work there anymore. So you're just talking to just anybody? So who's this former employee? And I get it, they don't want to say anything, but maybe more details in the article would be helpful, right? Maybe. If there was more receipts in this article, that would be extremely helpful, right? It is unclear if either woman ever waited on Kohberger or if they even interacted, but People confirms that a now deleted account that appeared to belong to Kohberger once followed both Mogan and Kernodle, Xana and Madison, on Instagram, along with the third female victim, Kaylee Gonsalves. Now, the thing is that when you look at this, I want to point this out too. There have been many fake accounts with Bryan Kohberger's face on it. There have been even more. People are still creating those, still to this day. Fake account after fake account after fake account, just putting his face on it and saying BK something, or B Kohberger, or Kohberger Bryan, or Kohberger .B. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of crazy stuff that's being created because people just, for some odd reason, people got time on their hands for this effery, which makes no sense for me. I really don't know why people are going out of their way to make fake accounts of BK right now. It just doesn't make any sense. So when you say, oh, that it confirms, then show us that. Show us that again. People has also confirmed via an investigator familiar with the case, and I even read on this. I was riding on this one so hard on the other day, okay? Because I'm sitting there going, what is this? Okay, an investigator familiar with the case. Okay. That could be anybody. How familiar are they? Are they working closely? Because familiar is just familiar. Like, I'm familiar with the case. You feel me? I'm familiar. Any person that's read an article about this case, or at least knows that this guy is being alleged of doing these unalivings, these heinous unalivings, right, is familiar. Anybody's familiar. You could be a private eye and say, yeah, I know this stuff. I'm familiar. Not even working closely to the case. You could just be watching it from afar and be familiar. So how familiar is this investigator? Okay, real quick. Jim Halpert, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Jim, thank you so much. Welcome to the family, Allie K, Speculation Station, Jet Judson, Jane, and Sarah P. Welcome to the family. Welcome to becoming members of the family, okay? And thank you so much, Jim Halpert. Everybody, there's going to be a lot of purple heart emojis today, so please give Jim Halpert some purple heart emojis as well. That would really, really mean a lot, okay? But again, investigator familiar with the case. What does that mean exactly? How familiar is this dude or is this person, right? So they say an investigator familiar with the case that law enforcement. So People has also confirmed via an investigator familiar with the case that law enforcement is aware of the restaurant visits and that investigators have interviewed employees and owners of the Mad Greek. Now, what's interesting, let me finish this. They have also collected surveillance video from the restaurant and surrounding businesses. Okay, sure. We already knew that, though. We've been known about the surveillance footage and all that stuff. It's even spoken about, even written about in the probable cause affidavit. All right? It's already in the affidavit. We already know about all this stuff. Surveillance footage in the restaurant, I'm sure, and in surrounding areas. Now, they don't say we got surveillance footage from the Mad Greek. That I feel could have been redacted. All right? But they do have other places, coffee shops, etc., all showing and watching this white Elantra drive around. Okay? Oops. Hold on. One more. Hold on 1 second, guys. I think there was another one. Oh, wow. Jim Halpert, again, thank you so much for 5 memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashley Oakes, Tyler Hackner, Ivy the One, Becca Rebel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and Nur. Okay. And Agro Vixen, all y'all, welcome to the membership. All right. That's a nice little birthday gift for Nur as well. All right. That's greatly appreciated. Everybody give Jim Halpert more love, more purple heart emojis. Okay. And Jury's Out, welcome to becoming a member as well. Jury's Out, thank you so much for joining and becoming a member. All right. And Tasty Tea, thank you so much for becoming a family member. Welcome to the family. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to continue on here though. All right. So, yeah, Nur, you got it too. Come on now. You got it. See, it's your birthday. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, to me, this pops up so many questions, right? So many questions because it's like, all right, somebody familiar, just some dude from around the way knows about this story. And he's just saying, oh, yeah, somebody, familiar, just saying, oh, yeah, law enforcement is aware of the restaurant visits and that investigators have interviewed employees and owners of the Mad Greek. Okay, sure. Fantastic. But then the question still remains, if this investigator that's familiar with the case knows that law enforcement already interviewed employees or that they were interviewing employees and owners of the Mad Greek, wouldn't they have known something about this? Which is a statement made by the owner of the Mad Greek. Wouldn't that investigator that's familiar with the case? I hate familiars. Blade, guys, Blade. But wouldn't the investigator know about this? Maybe, kind of, sort of, maybe. Let's take a look at what the owner had to say. Jackie Fisher of the Mad Greek. She is the owner of the Mad Greek. She had some things to say. So let's take a look at this, guys. And I know it's a little fuzzy. Okay, I apologize. It's just how I got this. Okay, the news/media should really do their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to this story from people. It is not true. This person who wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a whole bunch of extra work for myself and the investigators. I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. We all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. To all media /reporters /internet sleuths, etc., please allow us to grieve the loss of our friends and coworkers. This has been incredibly hard on us. with our phones ringing off the hook, reporters banging on my door at my private residence, and hunting down employees as well as showing up constantly at my restaurant, we have not been afforded the time to grieve. Please stop calling, messaging, knocking, and showing up. I personally will not be doing any interviews or entertaining wild accusations at this time. My employees also feel the same. To all others, please don't believe anything. Please don't believe everything you read. If it's not coming from the courts or the police, wait until it does or doesn't before judging. To everyone who has supported myself, my family, and my employees, thank you. Your kind words support us. Your kind words and support help us get through each day while we navigate these unknown times. Respectfully, Jackie Fisher, Mad Greek. Now, very well said, very well spoken, very well written. I'm sorry. It's straight to the point, in your face, saying, leave us alone, back the F off, let us grieve, let us process, let us have some time to process all this stuff, right? Now, this is very interesting because I know that there are a lot of other places of business that are echoing the exact same feeling. Like, leave us alone. Stop knocking on our doors. Stop asking us questions about this. I get it. This is the new obsession. This is the new focus. This is the new thing. Okay. Kind of like the Gabby Petito type of thing, the Kylie Rodney thing, so on and so forth. It's that new focus. It's that new obsession. Okay. I get it. But it does make you wonder. It does make you wonder why People Magazine would put together an article like they did. Now, I can see, let's keep it real. I can see other people, other content creators fabricating stuff just so they can get some views. We already been seeing that, right? Fake audio that was created, so on and so forth. We've clearly seen that. And that was debunked brilliantly. But we're talking about People Magazine. Now, I just had a conversation the other night with Justin on TikTok. And we were just having this conversation about this. And I was asking him if he believes if this is real or not. Because I was like, is this real? Let me just show you guys the article, the title of that article one more again. Okay. But I was talking about this actual article late Thursday night. Okay. We were live on TikTok having a conversation. And I was sitting there asking him, is this real or is this fake? And he said, well, there's certain news outlets that are just rags and some are not. And he believed that this was real. Understandably, like, hey, some people are going to take this and believe this and some people are not, right? Exactly, Tyler. It's like tabloid stuff, right? So I was like, I don't know. Like, I still got questions. But I still did a live about it because I was like, well, this is information. We should talk about it. And, it's something that people are talking about like crazy. So let's address the issue. Let's address the situation. Even on the live, I did it with, talk to you guys about this. But I still keep wondering. People Magazine, I understand People Magazine may not be, maybe a rag too. I don't know. But because I don't read People Magazine like that. I'm just not like, I just don't, right? But as I'm reading this, I'm going, okay, there's still so many holes in this reporting because anyone can write this. Anyone can make this stuff up. Anyone can be a former employee of the Mad Greek. Anyone can be an investigator that's familiar with the case. Anyone. So it's frustrating when you see this kind of BS. It's frustrating when you see this and then you hear the Mad Greek come out and go, all of this is not true. Whoever's trying to do this, whoever's doing this is just trying to get their 5 minutes of fame. It's just interesting. Okay. Kimberly in Japan, thank you so much for the 500 yen. I appreciate it. Happy birthday to all. Thank you for those happy birthdays to Tyler's mom and to Nur. I caught you on TikTok live the other day. So much info to dig on. Yes. So much to dig on. Okay. So much to dig on. Now, somebody said something here. Where is it? I need to find it really, really quick. Sorry, guys. I just want to grab it so that this pops up. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I saw in the corner of my eye. Damn. Where did it go? It's gone. Wait. Maybe it's... Yes. It is. It's in the owner's interest to lie about it. Now, Murray Bolt just said that on YouTube, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the comment. But I keep wondering, yes, I get it. It's in his interest. It's in her interest. All right. Jackie Fisher, it's in her interest to put out a statement. But how is it in her? Well, I mean, I can see it being in her interest to lie. Sure. Okay. So then my question to you guys is this: do you think the owner is lying? Because to me, I don't see this as somebody who is to me, this is not something. I'm sorry, I just read something else and I'm like, who's that? Sorry. Josie, really quick, can you please get Sunny Slaughter on your show? I don't even know who that is. No disrespect. But somebody tell me who she is. And that would be awesome. Okay. But, and I'll look into it for sure. But I don't know Sunny Slaughter. No disrespect. Okay. But when this owner made this statement, why would this owner make this statement? Why would they blatantly go out, make a public statement like this and straight up lie? If it's a lie. Okay. We're just playing with that idea. Okay. I'm not sitting here saying that she lying. I ain't saying that. Okay. I'm just taking it as what it is. A statement about this. And she's saying that whatever that this article was written about is not true. The contents in this article are not true at all whatsoever. Okay. Now, thank you, Jane. Yeah, I'll look into it. No doubt. I will look into it. I don't know who she is. I feel like a jerk now. I will look her up in just a minute. Okay. Just let me get this thought out my brain. Okay. So when we look at this and we hear about this, okay, we see all this stuff that's going on. And then the owner suddenly steps out and says, this is not true. How or why would this woman go out and lie about this? You got to remember, this is very important information because that could show a connection between BK and two of the young girls that lost their lives. Shoot, all three of them, in fact. Right? So I keep wondering, why would this owner go out of their way to lie? To throw 5-0 and people who are the other real investigators that are actually going in and doing their due diligence within this case, why would they lie about it? Now, I know I have my options here that I'll pull out, which are maybe she doesn't want all that heat on her. all that focus on her restaurant, all those people coming in, almost like using their place as a tourist attraction. Oh, this is the place where he used to eat. Oh, wow. And people taking photos and stuff. Maybe that's what it is, but I don't see the point of her making that up and lying, saying that this is not true. I just don't see it, especially if this is an opportunity to help with the investigation, to help show that there is a connection, right? Because I'm assuming that a lot of people that believe that this guy did this thing, right? Because he's still innocent till proven guilty. There's a lot of people out here that are wanting to find ways to get him stuck with these charges so he lives the rest of his natural life behind bars. So why would she say something like this? Go out of her way to make this statement if what she says is not true. That's quite a thing to do, okay? Lisa just said the owner would be saying, and why in all caps, dag nab. The owner could be saying that because most people wouldn't go to a restaurant after finding, go to her restaurant after finding that out. See, now the thing is I feel like it would be the opposite. I feel like more and more people would be like going in there and becoming a patron of that restaurant. More and more people would want to be like, this is the place. You know what I mean? More of a tourist attraction. I can see her trying to avoid that kind of BS, right? I can see avoiding that type of BS. But that only brings more, I would think, more business to her place in a very morbid and messed up way, right? And you know for a fact, everybody in the mom is already still knocking on her door. Reporters are actually hitting her up. And I feel like the constant harassment, right? The badgering, not the harassment, but the badgering of asking her questions and trying to call her and going to her private residence and all that stuff can be extremely daunting. Okay? Terrifying and annoying as hell, right? But it does make you wonder. And I personally don't think she's lying. I really don't. I really don't. We're going to pull up the comment here again in just a minute. I got a super chat I want to get to here, though. Bang. Lena on me always. Thank you so much for the 5. It could be true in that the owner doesn't want anything negative attached to his or her restaurant. I mean, sure. That could be it too. But it is quite a thing, though. It's quite a thing to have this be reported and then suddenly out of nowhere, it's like, nope, it's not true. That ain't true at all, y'all. That's very interesting. Okay. In my personal opinion. Okay. Very, very interesting. I'm going to pull this up one more time so you guys can see it again. Okay. And let's look into this a little bit more. All right. So there's posted this yesterday, basically saying, you do your due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. Completely fabricated information. Okay. This is my only response to this story from people. It is not true. The people who want this person wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a bunch of extra work for myself and the investigators. Meaning, like, she's just, for a fact, once this came out and everybody started talking about it, for a fact, this owner's phone just went off like crazy. They were getting, you know what I mean? It's a lot. Okay? It's a lot. And yes, it's a shorter show than usual. Okay? I will say that. It will be a shorter show than usual. All right? But then I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. So then what exactly does that mean? I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. Could someone who used to work there walk in to or have a phone conversation with somebody, with this reporter of people that recently may have lost their job or something of that sort? Finally step up and say, I know some information. But then it's also, you got to remember too, this is the other question I have too. What about the surveillance footage? Did this, and this is the only pushback I would put to Jackie Fisher. Okay? This is the only pushback I'll sit here and say. Did this owner of the Mad Greek step forward, sit down, and watch all the hours and hours of surveillance footage if they actually have it? How much of this is like, does this owner actually have proof, receipts, Carfax? If they do, this is going to be a completely different conversation. Or, I mean, not a completely different conversation. If they do have surveillance footage showing nothing, then this goes with what this statement says. But it is true. We have not heard, well, we're not going to be hearing from law enforcement anytime soon. So people that are going to be speaking out about this are going to be reporters that are getting information from a little bird, right? So again, I don't think that why would an owner go out of their way to lie? It doesn't make sense because you realize that it is also destroying or hurting the narrative that prosecution could be using right now against Bryan Kohberger. So why would they even do that when this could literally put this man behind, or help at least put this man behind bars? Because that's creating a narrative of there being a connection or at least an interaction, right, between these two young girls and this alleged mass monster. Okay? Let's keep it real, y'all. I believe this statement. If people are out here thinking that it's fake, that this is fake, I don't know about that, y'all. Why would anyone come out and say these things? When you know for a fact, if law enforcement actually has the surveillance footage, they will be using this in court. If this owner is lying right now, yo, that's bad news bears. This could turn around and bite this owner in the ass. Real talk. So I believe this. I do. Unless there's something that the owner doesn't know anything about, which I think is I feel like it's nowhere near possible. Especially after all this, you're telling me none of the other coworkers sitting there going, "Oh yeah, I remember him." You're telling me that they didn't have any of those kind of conversations? They didn't have little powwows, the whole crew, all the people having a crew meeting before a work shift or something like that, saying, yeah, this, that, and the third, and talking about these things. None of these girls stepped forward. None of these other servers stepped forward to the owner to say, yes, I saw him and he was this, that, and the third. Like I said, why? Why would this owner lie? Okay. And then this owner even said, I have not forbidden the employees from speaking to employees, but we all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially, look at this, potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. So why would this owner come out and say these things? See what I'm saying? If it was fake news, or if it wasn't fake news, I'm sorry. If it was true, why would they sit here and say this? Because that kind of information could help investigation. But because what the owner's saying right now, what they're saying that article is a lie, it's harming. It's harming the investigation. Dag nabbit. So to all media, blah, 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 internet sleuths, etc., please allow us to grieve the loss of our friends and coworkers. This has been incredibly hard on us, with our phones ringing off the hook, reporters banging on my door at my private residence, and hunting down employees, as well as showing up constantly at the restaurant. We have not been afforded the time to grieve. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's the same thing that's going on right now with the corner club bar. Same thing. They're frustrated. They're at wit's end right now because, yes, that place is swarming with media. Absolutely. A reporter from this place, a reporter from that place. Because, yes, right now, this is the obsession of now this year. Okay? This is the obsession of the season. So you know for a fact, all these places knocking on doors, they're trying to interview people, random people. There's all types of people over there. All of them. There's internet sleuths, content creators that have flown out there, driven out there to have conversations and interviews with people and all that stuff. And then some, okay? It's gone crazy, okay? Absolutely crazy. So I can only imagine someone with a YouTube channel, somebody from a newspaper, someone from a magazine, someone from a news station coming in from California, News Nation, Nancy Grace. You got everybody and their mama out there trying to get the scoop. Imagine that. It reminds me of a movie I saw like a long time ago. I don't remember what the movie was, the name of the movie, but it was like something about trying to make a movie in a small town. But it was like, the locals really hated it, just hated it, couldn't stand it, while all these movie stars came in and they're trying to make this movie in this small town and all the craziness that happens on it. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, it does kind of make me think of that, except with news, everyone flying in. Okay. Most of these people who are over there, and even including myself, didn't even know there was a Moscow, Idaho. I'm going to be real. I didn't know that even existed until this whole thing went down. Didn't even know. Of course, no disrespect. Okay? No disrespect. But pretty crazy stuff, y'all. Okay? And I do agree. I mean, to a certain extent, it just sucks because we are reading from periodicals. We are getting information from news sources that we believe once we read it is real, right? Is the actual truth. And that sucks because we're in that place now where we can't believe everything we read nowadays because people are out here saying things for a click. And it's frustrating. It's the same thing that happened with the Shanquella Robinson case. Speaking of which, I do have a pop-up video coming up later on today revolving around that case because we got some new information. Finally, some new information. I've been looking for something with that case. But still, at the same time, there was rumors going around saying that Dejanay Jackson was arrested, so on and so forth. It wasn't true. But it was just thrown out there. We have content creators on YouTube that are creating fake audio, trying to capitalize on one of the worst by making an audio clip to make it seem that we are listening in on the worst moment on someone's life, the last few moments of someone's life. Also, that they can make a few ducats. Now we got People Magazine talking some BS, allegedly, and then some. And now we got the owner coming out saying that that is all cap. Not true. It's frustrating because this is a place where we should be believing our reporters. We should be, but we can't. Why? Because you just never know. You just never know nowadays, and it sucks. It really, really sucks. Now, really quick, that was, who was it? Sonny? Who was it? Slaughter? I remember the last name Slaughter. Someone write that in the thing, Jane, if you can, please. What's the Slaughter name again? All right. It sucks. Yeah. I mean, Tyler, yes, it sucks because we can sit here all day. Sonny Slaughter. It is Sonny Slaughter. Okay. I want to look her up on YouTube really, really quick. Okay. So she was recently on Grizzly True Crime. Okay. Hence the reason why you guys want her on here. I will see what's up, but of course, she was just recently on Grizzly True Crime. I don't feel right suddenly just bringing her on right after she just was on another really, really great channel. Doesn't feel right, but I'll keep her in the back of my mind. I'll keep her in my back pocket for another conversation for sure. Okay. Or in a little while. But speaking of Grizzly True Crime, okay. So I got two announcements. Okay. Number one, tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time, I will be having a live conversation with Grizzly True Crime right here on the Pascal Show. So Gizla will be on the show tomorrow at noon, okay, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. She will be here chopping it up with me right here, okay? So we will be talking about the case, of course, because she has been killing it with this case, with her coverage and all that. So we are finally going to do another collaboration. It's been a while, but we're giving you guys what you want. You guys have asked to do a collaboration. She will be on here with me to chop it up and talk about everything that has been going on tomorrow at noon, okay? 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then it looks like we haven't confirmed the time yet. Let me see what's the word here, because bird is the word. Okay. Okay. And it looks like Monday I will be having an exclusive interview with Chronicles of Olivia right here on the Pascal Show. Most likely it'll be in the morning time, but you guys will know. I'll let you guys know about that as well. So, of course, she's been doing an amazing amount of work with her interviews and interviewing a lot of different people. Of course, the Gonsalves family. She just interviewed Kim, the one that was interviewed or that called in on the Drunk Turkey show. All right. She had another exclusive, okay, with her, which was very eye-opening and very thought-provoking as well. So Chronicles of Olivia will be on here on Monday. We haven't confirmed the time, but it looks like she will be here on Monday. So yeah, y'all, we got two back-to-back unbelievable shows for you guys. And we're going to be talking about all this stuff, going into more depth. And I want to hear from some of these, like I said, Gizla has been an absolute expert on this and has been doing an amazing amount of work revolving around this. So I want to pick her brain. And so I just wanted to give you guys that information before we continue on with the show. But I got 2 shows for you guys coming up Sunday and Monday. All right. Sunday, it has been confirmed the time. That is at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. She will be here live and in full Technicolor, 1080p, whatever you call it. All right. To talk about everything. And then after that, it is Chronicles of Olivia coming onto the show to talk about her recent interviews. Of course, one that's just been getting a crazy amount of traction and views and all that. And this most recent interview she just had on her channel. So, yeah, we got some really great stuff coming up. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's gonna be dope. Okay, so just to give you guys an update on that. Sunny Slaughter, be great to have her on sometime in the near future. Absolutely. Now, the other question I have for you guys, really quick, because I got a video I want to show you guys, or I got a couple clips I want to show you guys that are talking about this whole Mad Greek situation. Okay, but there is something I was wondering. I am curious if you guys want me to cover the Murdaugh case, because there's a trial coming up very, very soon. All right. And I'd love to know your thoughts on that. If you guys are down with that, if not, so on and so forth. Okay. But Natalie Pirani, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. Okay. Yes. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that, because that is such a huge story that I've been wanting to go into and deep dive into a little bit more. But at the same time, I've been, I've been curious as to what you guys think, because it's a big story and the trial is starting soon. And so I wanted to hear your thoughts on that for sure. Shoot, hold on, guys. So I got this clip that I want to show you guys, because obviously this is a very strange situation, in my personal opinion. This whole Mad Greek situation, because obviously this is an opportunity for us to get closer to finding out the truth. This is an opportunity for us to know, maybe to put him, could help us get us closer to putting him in the scene of the crime. And now we have Mad Greek stepping forward and saying, this is not true at all. It's all fabricated. And this is someone who's just trying to get their 5 minutes of fame. So what are your thoughts on that? Real talk. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay. But let me get into this. All right. Be sure to hit the number 1. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Let's rock and roll.
Well, the judge in the Idaho college student murders case is getting stricter on who can and cannot speak with the media. The expanded gag order now includes the victims' families and their attorneys. This comes after a newly unsealed search warrant was made public, showing what was taken from Bryan Kohberger's apartment. We're also learning new information between Kohberger and the victims, specifically the girls. According to People magazine, Kohberger visited the restaurant at least twice, where Xana and Maddie both worked. He also followed Kaylee, Maddie, and Xana on Instagram and even tried messaging them. Steve Helling exclusively reported these new details. He's a senior crime writer with People magazine, and he joins us now. Steve, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's great to have.
First off, let me just say this really quick, okay? This is the actual guy who wrote this article. I just want to point that out. So he's even gone out of his way to hop on here okay. Of course I got to hop in and out because, that's how it is, fair use kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, this is the actual guy that did the interview or did the article. Both of them. That now people are starting to have a little bit of pushback and wonder, did he really follow these girls on Instagram? Is that 110% actually true? So on and so forth. And I understand the pushback. I understand the confusion. Okay? I understand the concern, because it just doesn't make any sense, especially after you have the owner go, it's not true. But let me let him talk. This is the guy. Let's hear what he has to say.
Exclusively reported these new details. He's a senior crime writer with People magazine, and he joins us now. Steve, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. Law enforcement tells you they're aware that Kohberger ate at the restaurant where 2 of the victims worked, followed 3 of the female victims on Instagram, even repeatedly messaged one of them and never got a response. So, what could the reasoning be, do you think, for investigators withholding that evidence?
Well, right now, I think that investigators are really trying to put together an airtight case. They're trying to figure out something that they can do to make sure that they have a conviction. And so they're not going to tell us everything. Obviously, we're hearing bits and pieces, which is what happens in these situations, as you know. But we're never going to know everything that the cops have until the time comes that they're ready to tell us.
Interesting. So the judge overseeing the case, expanding a gag order to cover any attorneys involved, even with the slightest connection. Is there anything specific that you know of that may have prompted that? Was there a concern about information maybe being improperly leaked, or maybe worries of tainting a jury, perhaps?
Well, one of the things that all of us journalists do is we get our sources, and we get them very early on in the process. We start reaching out when something bad happens. And so, a lot of us had sources, including myself, and we ran a lot of stuff that maybe the judge doesn't want to be out there. It kind of shows us that we are headed down the right track, because suddenly we have a much more strict, gag order. I don't expect there to be any more leaks after this, because it's pretty clear that nobody's allowed to talk.
So my question then is, obviously there's a stricter gag order, and this is talking about anybody that has any connection to this thing at all. Former employee steps forward and says, according to his article that he wrote, says that, yeah, he went in there. He was a patron. He got food and he did his thing, eating some vegan pizzas, and he was very, very anal about making sure that the meat didn't touch his veggies, right? So if that's the case, if that's true, right, that he got that vegan pizza and all that stuff, why can't you show some sort of facts? Can't you show something? Something to show proof positive that this dude was actually there? You have in your article, and I quote, a former employee. That former employee could be anybody, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a broken record right now, but I have to say it again. That could be anybody that used to work there, that's making things up because they're reading other things about him being so OCD and just saying, oh, yeah, without a doubt, he did this, that, and the third because of this, and this. They could piece things together from all the articles and stuff that's been covered about this dude. Let's keep it 100. Straight up, let's keep this a buck. His source, is it a credible source? Then on top of it, let's talk about this investigator. He says an investigator familiar with the case. Was there an actual name in that article? And then his editor said, we got to take the name out. Who's the investigator that's familiar with the case? That can also see, my dogs wanted to know too. Who, bruh? Who is that investigator that's so familiar with the case that you can't name either? Now, I get it. Editor may go and sit there and go, yeah, we can't use these names. He's asking not to be named. We can't use these names. But you put in very soft words, a very soft phrase, right? An investigator familiar with the case. That could be me. That could be you that's watching right now. That could be anybody, y'all. Have mercy. So to me, do you think this guy is incredible? Do you think, at least, let's just say this, do you really think that his sources are credible or no? I'll leave that up to you guys. Let's continue.
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case. So, is there anything that could indicate Kohberger visited this restaurant with the intention of stalking or hurting Xana or Madison? Or do you think this is really about his strict dietary restrictions?
Well, that in that area, there's very few restaurants that serve exclusive or that serve vegan food. That they use, separate ingredients. They use separate part of the kitchen, and the Mad Greek just happened to be one of those places. I don't get the feeling, and I don't believe that the cops get the feeling that the first times he went there for any other reason but to get a vegan pizza. Whether or not his paths crossed with the girls there and whether or not that's where it started, that's something that the cops would know for sure. But we know for sure that he ate there at least twice, probably more. And, that was a place that was familiar to him.
My dude, show me the Carfax. Just show it to me. Or show it to us. Because for a fact right now, this dude is probably getting a whole lot of pushback for these 2 articles that he recently put out. Let's keep it 100. All right? Again, let's keep it a buck. In fact, let me see here. Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to see if he has put anything on the twits. I'm just trying to see if he put anything on the twits right now, because that's the other place that people like to put up their stuff. Right there. I'm just checking to see. But he hasn't posted anything. The last time he posted anything on Twitter was in October. Wait. October of 2022? Yep, October of 2022. So it's been a minute. Okay? It's been a while. It's been a while since he's done anything on the twits. And I'm expecting to see him come up and be like, "No, here's some proof. Here are his receipts of him actually eating at the Mad Greek." Because for a fact people are going to sit here and go, "Okay, tell me you're telling the truth. Show me you telling the truth then. Show us facts." Because a former employee and an investigator that is familiar with the case is not enough. And I get that you may be trying to protect your sources, which totally makes sense. But that is some very, very loose quotes there, loose titles that are there. Okay, Mrs. JML, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Okay, all right. Now, that's the other thing too. I'm so glad. Hold up. Where did that go? Lisa White, exactly. There it is. What if he paid with cash? That's a very good question too. But there'd still be some sort of surveillance footage, if there is surveillance coverage in that area, of him walking in and out of the Mad Greek. Now, if he is that diabolical, you know what I mean? If he really is just, you know what I mean? If BK is really that diabolical, all right, and he was really thinking about this way ahead of time, then I could see him trying not to show a paper trail, right? By him showing up and paying in cash. So he's not swiping a card or nothing. But what if he, I feel like this guy is so sloppy. He made so many big mistakes that I feel like he wouldn't even think about this if he was planning this, months in advance. Maybe he didn't even think, oh, the paper trail. Oh, if I use my card, then they're going to know that I was at the Mad Greek at this particular time, at this particular place. They found receipts in his home. all that stuff. So it does make me wonder if he really was that diabolical. He could have used cash. But there has got to be some sort of footage out here showing us otherwise. That's all I'm saying. There's got to be proof of him out here in these streets of Moscow, lurking or at least walking in and eating food there. Now, the other thing I want to point out, though, too, is let's keep it real, though. This is a small... Raw Pros, you got it. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Okay. But think about this, too. Think about this. It's a small town. He's vegan. There's only a few restaurants that make vegan plates, vegan cuisine. One of them happens to be the Mad Greek. He is vegan. And I understand that it's Moscow, and he was in Pullman and all that, but what are the chances of him? It's only a 15-minute drive into town. It's a short drive into town. Okay? I know some of y'all have driven further for a McDonald's, for some McDonald's fries. Let's keep it straight funky. Okay? So what are the chances of him actually driving over there and just going and grabbing some food? Probably pretty big. And also, would people remember that for real? If he's only gone there twice? You're telling me somebody out here, some former employee, is looking at him and they just remember his face like that? That easily? When he just walks in and asks for a pizza and gets in and leaves? I'm sorry, I have to challenge these questions because it just doesn't make sense for this reporter to sit here and go, yeah, I got these credible sources and they said this, that, and the third. Yet he has yet to present any type of receipts so far. And now you got the owner of the restaurant saying, you are lying, that this is a fabricated article. Unless you talk to somebody who just happened to say, yeah, I used to work there and I got things to say. And you just took everything what they said as scripture. That also says something about his ability as a reporter too. That's bad. That's very, very bad. But let's continue.
Interesting. So what other big questions do you still have about the case? What more do you think we'll be learning between now and the next hearing in June?
Mm-hmm. Well, we have, almost 5 months now. And during these next 5 months, I'd like to know, what, other than the cell phone pinging and the DNA, what else did they have that led them to Bryan Kohberger? And more than that, what's the motive? I think that's what everybody wants to know. Who was the intended victim and what was the motive? And both of those things are information that the police have been keeping close to the chest for right now.
Yeah, certainly will be interesting. Well, Steve Helling, thank you so much.
So I leave the question up to you guys on if you believe this guy or not, or if you believe the owner or not. That obviously is going to be a burning question for a lot of us. We're all going to be trying to figure this thing out. I mean, every single last one of us that's been so focused on this whole thing, right? We all want to know the truth. We all want to know what happened. We all want to know why it happened. But at the same time, we're looking at this and we're hearing this reporter, and this is why this sucks. Because you never know. Let's be real. Let's talk about it. This reporter could be doing his due diligence for sure. Maybe he interviewed people that he believed. Well, let me say due diligence. Let me take back due diligence. But maybe he was doing what he could to find out the truth or find out some more information. Maybe he did get let's just say he got this information from somebody who was a former employee. But maybe that employee is lying through their teeth. But he still wrote it. And then the other thing about the Instagram, following them on Instagram, we don't know for sure if that's 110% true. We don't. There are those theories about, about him having his own like a fake account, made up account, and all that stuff. But we don't know for sure yet. Okay, we don't. Now, and that's what's frustrating about this. Now, Jennifer, this is the reason why I brought this up when Lisa White just said it earlier. Paying in cash and all that. Here it is. Jennifer Coffindaffer even said this too. Okay, she even asked the question: credit card, cash app. How did he pay for the pizza? And is there video? Certainly, law enforcement will be able to verify if BK ate at the Mad Greek and if Maddie and Xana were there. Again, it all comes down to surveillance footage. Whether or not surveillance footage shows otherwise. Now, let me just play this too. Let me just say this too. And it may not be popular opinion, but the owner of the Mad Greek, Jackie Fisher, could be wrong. They could be wrong. There could be information that this owner does not know anything about. Okay? May not know anything about, but law enforcement may know more than the owner. We could put that as a possibility. And that this owner is only responding to things that they personally know from the information that they know. Maybe another employee did step forward and talk to law enforcement. Maybe there is a video of Bryan Kohberger inside that restaurant picking up a pizza. Maybe the law enforcement have that. Maybe the owner of Mad Greek did not sit down and go through hours upon hours of surveillance footage just to find one glimpse of BK. We have to put those into consideration too. Someone just said this too. Let me see. Vivian Lyons just said, and thank you so much for the comment on YouTube. Sounds like she put a gag order on everyone that's ever worked for her too. It's, to me, in her statements, it does sound like they all got together and they said, "Mum's the word. We ain't talking, y'all. We ain't snitching. We ain't saying nothing. The only people that you're talking to is law enforcement. If you know anything about it, you talk to only law enforcement and law enforcement alone." Then, of course, we got to play this other side. What if there was an employee that recently lost their job from the Mad Greek and they're disgruntled and angry and they're going, F this agreement that we had, within all of us as a group. I don't work for that place no more. So, hey, Steve from People Magazine, I got some things to say. Maybe. But I do ask, the other side of the fence when it comes to this statement is, did Jackie Fisher of the Mad Greek, owner of the Mad Greek, actually sit down and comb through countless hours of footage just to find Bryan Kohberger buying a pizza herself? Or their self? I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Plenty of men name themselves Jackie as well. I'm assuming this is a woman. All right. But it's very easy for someone to not do that and let law enforcement do their job. Because this owner has bigger fish to fry. Okay? Like running a business. So there may be some information that she does not know. This owner may not know at all. And it could be a disgruntled employee saying, "F you," middle finger to this. F our agreement. I'm going to say what I need to say. I just lost my job there. F them. And you know for a fact the turnaround in jobs in the restaurant business happens so fast. You could be hired and fired in the same day. Real talk. That actually, I think, happened to me one time. Yeah, I think that actually happened to me one time. Yeah, I didn't know how to bartend at that time. But you see what I'm saying. All right? Okay? The restaurant business is pretty cutthroat. You can have the job one day and the very next day lose that job like that. Okay? Yeah. That did actually happen to me many moons ago. Have mercy. All right? But still. So it could be a very disgruntled person that worked there for a period of time, recently lost their job, and was like, F it, I'm angry. So I'm going to say what I need to say. You know what I mean? No, I just didn't know the fundamentals of certain things when it came to bartending at that time. I mean, then I became a hell of a bartender, but in the very beginning, nah, I was faking it till I made it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So I'll tell that story another time. For sure, I'll tell that story another time. Okay. Man, that was many, 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 many moons ago. Have mercy. But as I was saying, this could very well be that, but we don't know. Okay. And maybe there is information out there that this owner does not even know, but this owner is also trying to protect their business and also trying to protect the employees that actually work in this restaurant too. So I can only imagine, okay, the type of badgering they're getting right now from various people. Everything from mainstream media all the way down to internet sleuths. Because they're all out there. Okay? And no disrespect to all of them. None whatsoever. I mean, by all means, do your thing. But we all should be doing it in the most respectful possible way we can. Right? So there it is, guys. All right? It is a frustrating situation because now we have to double check, or we at least have to look at every single article that we see nowadays with an incredibly inquisitive eye. Okay? Very inquisitive eye. And it's just frustrating. And it's easy for us to sit here and go after this reporter and think the ill will or think he's a liar, but we don't know what sources he has or if he made this up. And I hope that this reporter does step up and say, "Hey, yeah, here's the actual truth. This was a lie." Or I have my receipts. Here are my freaking receipts. I talked to somebody, they said what they said, and I wrote about it. So I'm hoping that he comes out with the Carfax because I want to see the Carfax too. Real talk. I want to see that Carfax. Okay. Sure. But anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It's been a great conversation. I really do appreciate it. Happy birthday to Tyler Hackner's mama. Mrs. Hackner, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Ner. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Hopefully you have a wonderful Saturday, okay? I got a pop-up video coming up in a couple of hours revolving around Shanquella Robinson, which I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about as well. So be on the lookout for that. And also, I wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. Tomorrow, noon, okay? High noon, okay? Me and Gisela from Grizzly True Crime will be sitting down live right here on the Pascal Show at high noon Central Standard Time. All right? So be sure to tune in 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Me and Gisela will be going after it as far as this whole case. Just talking about all that's been going down and that has transpired over the past couple days. Okay. And we got a lot to talk about. And then, of course, another reminder, sometime Monday, I don't know what time Monday, but Monday I will be sitting down live with Chronicles of Olivia right here on the Pascal Show as well. So we got an action-packed next 48 hours, which I'm really, really excited about. It's great to have my good friend Gisela back on the show here. I cannot wait, and I'm looking forward to having Olivia on the show as well. It's going to be a really great conversation. So we're going to get into some things over the next couple days, okay? So anyway, I appreciate all y'all so much. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, all right? And most definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? You know your boys working hard out here in these streets, to give you guys the information and the conversations that you need for the day. So hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Okay, got some stuff coming up throughout the day, so be on the lookout for it, okay? Hit that notification bell. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Talk to you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.